Now, we can't plan the entire greeting because we can't plan the interaction that we have with the guest. But what we can plan is our greeting, the first sentence that we say to our guests. Now, we're going to look at a few steps in this first sentence that we say to make sure that your first impression is sensational. The first thing we should always say is good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time of day. That's our first step. Decide what your first words to your guests are going to be. Good morning and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome. Good evening and welcome. Now, those two words should go together because good evening shows them that you understand, it's the greeting for the evening, and welcome is an incredibly important word because welcome allows our guests or shows our guests that we are welcoming them into our establishment. So the first step is good evening and welcome. The second step is to where. Now I'm going to pretend that we are sitting in the Ocean Rock Hotel. So I'm going to say, good evening and welcome to the Ocean Rock Hotel. But remember that you must use the name of your establishment when you are using the greeting. The third step is about introducing yourself and telling the guest what you are actually going to do for them. Now, you can say, my name is Paul, and I will be assisting you. My name is Paul, and I will be taking care of you. Or my name is Paul, and I'll be looking after you this evening. You can choose whatever feels most comfortable for you. When using a guest's name in the greeting, use it as soon as you can. So you showing him that you've done your homework and you've learned his name. It is a great impression to give the guest. Good morning, Mr. Jones, and welcome to Ocean Rock Hotel. Okay, so I use it in the first step. If you need to confirm that this is the correct guest, identify the host, you can use it even before the greeting and say, Mr. Jones, good evening and welcome to the Ocean Rock Hotel. My name is Paul and I will be looking after you this evening. If you need to confirm the name of the guest, remember, leave it to the end. Leave it to step 3. Good evening and welcome. My name is Paul and I will be looking after you. Very nice to meet you. And at that point, he should or she should introduce themselves to you.
This lesson provided a good recipe to use when constructing the initial greeting we say to guests when we meet them for the first time. This recipe involved the following few steps. Step 1 is just a normal greeting. If it's the morning, you say good morning. If it's the evening, you say good evening or good day. And then we throw in the very important word, welcome. Step 2 is where we tell them where they are. We tell them our establishment's name. So for this example, we'll use the Lion Rock Game Reserve. So our greeting so far is, good morning and welcome to the Lion Rock Game Reserve. In step 3, we tell the guests who we are and what we'll be doing for them. So I would say, my name is Tim, and I will be taking care of you this evening. This is where you can really personalize it and make it your own. You could say, my name is Paul, and I will be looking after you this evening. Or I will be your waiter this evening. Whatever is most natural for you. If you know guests' names, which you should always try to do, remember, you must use them in step 1, right at the start of the greeting. For example, good evening, Mr. Williams, and welcome to the Lion Rock Game Reserve. My name is Paul, and I will be looking after you for the duration of your stay. Mentioning the guest's name in the first line really lets them know that we have taken the trouble to find out all about them. After you've done the greeting, you can have a normal conversation with your guests, using all the information you have learned about them before they arrived. Remember to use your culture and personality to make the greeting really, really special.